This is a complete cost-effective comparison of every attachment that can possibly be put on the M4. So first, to explain my system so it's less confusing, the part that's highlighted in yellow is the stock mod, any number highlighted in blue is the best value, green is best ergo, red is best recoil, and the number in between the parentheses is the difference between the stock modification and that modification. And almost all these parts can be found for cheaper on the flea market, but to keep a steady number I use the trader prices. And some parts have additional stats like accuracies or velocities, but we're just going to focus on the ergo and recoil stats. And don't forget to pause the video if you need to, because I'm going to be going through this pretty quickly. Now first you need to start off with the barrel to know if you're going to be in more CQC situations or longer range. And the two standouts are the 20-inch for a longer barrel and lower recoil, or the 260mm for a shorter barrel and higher ergo. Next, the handguards are very dependent on what gas block and length of barrel that you have. The best ones here are the SAIs and the MK10 for the lowest recoil, the SAI 14.5-inch for the highest ergo, the MK10 for the best value to recoil, and the Lone Star for the best ergo value and value overall. And the rest of these either don't have good enough improvement or no improvement at all over the stock handguard besides having rails. Any of these are a good replacement for the stock front sight block, but keep in mind with the picks you need a special handguard to allow it there. For the buffer tubes, the regular advanced tube is the best value you can get no matter what, and any of these buffer tube stock combos are a good replacement for the regular stock and buffer tube. But the double star Gen 4 also allows for a recoil pad to be added onto it. Now for stocks that require buffer tubes, the HKU1 and the bus have the lowest recoil, but the bus has a slightly better value to recoil. And any of the MOE stocks also allow for a rubber butt pad to be attached. And last, for the standard stocks, the GLR and GL Shock are the best ergos, but the GLR has the best value for ergo and overall. The Hera arms and the ADAR stock both require you to take off the pistol grip to allow that on. The PRS Gen 2 needs the A2 buffer tube, and the PRS Gen 3s require either the A2 buffer tube or the Colt buffer tube. The only charging handles you really should be using is either the stock, the HK Extended, or the regular Raptor charging handle. For the receivers, the MERS has the best recoil, the Noveska has the best ergo, and the TX15 has the best value for recoil point. And two of the standouts for the pistol grips are the Ergo PSG for the highest ergo, and the Hogue Gilly Green for the best value to ergo. And none of these pistol grips are worth taking instead of the ones on the first page. For Fore Grips, it's obvious the RK2 has the best recoil, but the Hera arms, the Fortis Shift, and the Cobra Tactical have the best ergo. But the best value Fore Grip you can get for recoil is the RK0, being very cheap. And on this page, like I said, the Cobra is one of the three with the best ergo, but the Ash 12 has the best ergo value overall. And all these muzzle devices have additional muzzle velocity and accuracy stats, but we're only focusing again on the ergo and recoil. The Bullet Tech is the lowest recoil that you can get with only a muzzle brake, and the Vendetta is the only muzzle brake that gives you additional ergo. And this page is the last of the standalone muzzle brakes, and also the muzzle brake suppressor combos. And the big winner here is the Daniel Defense Wave suppressor and muzzle brake combination, which gives a huge benefit to recoil. And this is just to show that the Surefire and Warcomp are both interchangeable with both of the monster suppressors. And lastly, the magazines, which all have ergo stats, and the Battle Mag is a very good magazine to use with only a -2 ergo penalty and a 30-round capacity still. And now the whole point of this video, the difference in recoil and ergo of the different builds. If you're going to go full ergo, make sure you have a sight that does not reduce your ergo at all. And this build I'm very proud of, being a really low recoil for almost a third of the price of a full recoil build. And for both of these you can buy the Cobra sight, which reduces recoil by 1%. And the results are better than I could have thought. To have that good of a recoil pattern for almost a third of the price, I think is really worth it. And lastly, just to show what the difference in ergo does to the ADS speed of each of the builds. If any of these numbers helped you and you want me to do a different gun next, or all this was just useless information, let me know.